Trash cans full of broken parts, broken dreams, and the road to the Golden Driller tonight.
With Blair and Brandon.
All right. As Blair alluded to, we were back in action tonight. Talking all things Chili Bowl, which is a lot to unpack. And then Blair and I are going to make our picks for who we think is going to win the Golden Drill Her, as Blair has under his name, not to be confused with Golden Driller. And then, we're going to talk about what Blair's kind of been doing in the off season. Kind of a cool deal. We'll share a video there and then talk about the swap meet upcoming in Calhan, not Calhan, as I shared in our post, so excuse me. Let's get right into it. Brandon Hall, creator and co-host of Throwin Sliders, and I'm all rusty. Creator of Scrubbin' Tires Media and co-host of Throwin Sliders podcast. And I will pass to Blair, Mr. Golden Drill Her. On my right, your left.
Yeah, Blair Cooper, driving sprint cars, unfortunately not midgets. I've been sad all week. I've just been really disappointed to have to be at work until we've been working pretty late and then get home and all these guys are out in Tulsa having a blast. It's like dirt Christmas for open wheel.
Seriously.
Guys indoors there. So
kicking off.
Try to do this, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're gonna. I don't even know how long we're gonna go tonight, but as long as we need to. So I'm sure most of you are probably watching the tonight's qualifier. I think they're getting ready, if not already on the track for the second qualifier tonight. Blair and I were actually just following along a little bit in the pre-show. If you want to tell your friends, hop on over. It's going to be funny as always with Blair and I. And so let's get right into it. As always, every Throwin Sliders episode, as well as Scrubbin' Tires Media episode, is presenting by our friends, Blair and I at Racing Rowdy Ranch, supporting the merch tonight. And I'm getting off camera, so I apologize. I'll not lean that way. Got a lot of stuff in store for 2025. Obviously, died down a little bit with having a kid. That certainly takes priority sometimes. So we'll get back into that. Have a couple more logos and design ideas to get back on track. And we'll pick that back up when we kind of go back into the season with the Scrubbin' Tires Media and Throwin Sliders. What are we on? Season 2 for us now. So, definitely go check out the site. Got, looking at them, 6-7 hats in stock currently. Trying to get those kind of dwindled down before we start pumping out more. So appreciate the support. Seeing a lot of traffic on that Facebook page. So we appreciate that. And without further ado, we'll play that ad and get right into it. So here we go.
Racing Rowdy Ranch was created with one person, one adjective, and one place in mind: the blue-collar racer and the crew behind the scenes. A word that can describe these racers and crews and how they live. Finally, a place where the straightaways and turns are these racers' pastures and hills, all bordered by concrete walls that could share more than their fair share of memories, even after several coats of paint. We are racing. We live rowdy, and we long to be at the ranch, riding for the brand. An apparel company designed to showcase just that. Push the limits every day, and be proud of who we are. Visit www.racingrowdyranch.com now to order yours today. Saddle up, strap in, and live rowdy. Proud presenting partner of Scrubbin' Tires Media, Throwin Sliders, and Hittin' the Chip podcasts.
All right. So like I said, go racingrowdyranch.com, get you a hat. Like I said, big things coming up. Just got to get back into the groove of things. So with that, as you all know, all the dirt racing fans out there and about, we will talk about all things Chili Bowl. It's been going on since this past Sunday, which was opening practice day, as Blair alluded to, kind of the Super Bowl for the midgets and kind of to kick off 2025 season for the open wheel stuff. High Limit's done 1 or 2 races so far this year, but really it's kind of the mecca to get things rolling before we get into the warmer months. So I'm a huge fan of the Chili Bowl. Been watching it for a long time, and keep telling Blair we need to get down there, but maybe next year. That's what we keep saying. But so yeah, Blair and I were talking. Those who are not just Chili Bowl fans, but people that really get into it, like Blair and I do. Been a lot of tech stuff going on this year, and Blair and I were actually talking about this on the phone earlier today, and we wanted to kind of dive into that aspect of it because that's a big thing, especially for this year. They're really cracking down. So one of the big topics is tires, and I'll let Blair kind of explain the switch to the tires that they did, and then kind of what they've been doing throughout the course of the week to make sure that everybody's not cheating.
Yeah, I think being on the up and up. I mean, I think a lot of, if you've watched any of it, you probably know, or if you've raced midgets, lightning sprints, any of that, there was a couple different tire options you could run throughout the season, whether that was the national tour shows down to the local midget stuff. And Hoosier had an SP2 tire, which probably, if the track wasn't taking rubber or anything like that on a normal night, most guys would run an SP2. Which is just a little bit softer compound. It's probably 6-8 points softer on the durometer. And then they went to the SP3. Well, a lot of guys, it seemed, and what we've heard this year was in previous years, everybody was doping them up, which they've only went to the SP3 for 1 year. So this would be the second year on it, I believe. But doping those things up, they were concerned about that. A lot of drivers, we saw that interview with Tanner Thorson, basically calling guys chicken shit for cheating them up and doping them. But it does seem that they're taking samples and a lot of stuff, which the only problem with that is it takes a couple days to get the results back. So you might have dodged a bullet for a few days, but who knows how some of those will come back. It'd be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to that point of the tire doping and stuff, I think for those fans that maybe don't know that much about it, I know previously last year, they were actually cutting, like right when you come up the ramp and park the thing before you even go back to your trailer, they're cutting chunks out of your tire, whichever tire they choose, assumably the right rear, I don't know. And they'll put it in a tube and send that off to, as Blair said, some type of lab that's in or around the Tulsa area, and then get those results back. So I think definitely there maybe needs to be some process to get results sooner, right? Because, yeah, if I'm tire doping, as my subtitle says there, if I dope the tire and say I win even say it's Wednesday and I win my qualifier, or I advance to the A main by finishing, first or second my qualifier, maybe those results don't get back by Saturday. And then maybe I go on and win Saturday and get the golden driller, and then the results come in the following week. And then it's really like not as big of a deal because, like, okay, I already won, but you're going to obviously take my earnings back. And, I would imagine the earnings, like the actual cash, doesn't get sent to the driver until probably a week or two later. But
until the results are finalized.
Right. But the trophy's, yours to take home, I assume. Maybe they hold that too. I don't know those granular details. But yeah, I think they need to make a process, and it'd probably cost big money, right, to have one of those testing corporations inside the Tulsa Expo Center, like with rapid results of, like, you put that test tube in a little however they're testing for the chemicals, and it within an hour or two. I mean, it's not going to be instantaneous, but I mean, if TSA at the fucking airport can test for gunpowder on your hand like that, you shot a gun 4 days ago. I mean, come on, we got to be able to do something. But yeah, so that's been, and I think Blair and I are in agreement that we were talking earlier, the purse, and I don't even know what the purse is. It's pretty negligible compared to some of these other races, but yeah, but no, the earnings to win the Chili Bowl, like, yeah. So like, it's not, it's kind of crazy that they're having all these rules for something that pays, I would even say, I think it's $20,000 to win, maybe even less.
Actually, they doubled
right
the last 2 years. So.
Yeah, because I know Rico and all those guys kind of complain. Well, actually, Rico was the opposite. But yeah, it's like, why are we doing this for this? Not like Knoxville Nationals or any of the high limit races, for that matter, are paying 4 times the amount that this race is paying. But it's such a prestigious race that it's not about the earnings that you win. It's about having your name on that Chili Bowl champion and getting that golden driller. So, yeah. And before I pass back to Blair, if you watch the Tulsa shootout with the micros, they were doing something that they've never done before. I was telling Blair, they pulled up tables, just, folding tables, and we're just picking random people. I assume more people that won than not, but they were picking them and literally taking the engine out of the cars, even down to the Briggs, motors that these running, and literally just tearing them down, checking every little thing, and then they'd give the thumbs up and you can take your motor back. But it's definitely gotten really serious over the past couple of years as far as techs related.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is a good thing. I mean, any step in the right direction to keep the racing fair. So it sounded like it was the Wild West. I've never been. So it sounded like in years past, it's just been the Wild West for doping up tires and stuff. So, I mean, it is good to see that they're starting to put some enforcement mechanisms in place. I mean, you always want to have, as fair of a race as you can. I mean, outside the guys' budgets, it does seem every year, the more we watch, the more TRD motors and Stantons, and it's 50, 60, I don't know, $50,000 motors though, for sure. All carbon fiber cars with titanium parts, and it's down to the custom fuel cells. So it is getting to be somewhat unattainable for the guy that's your weekend local racer, but that's everything. We could bitch about that forever. But I mean, obviously they've got about 450, 500 cars.
Yeah, every year. Well, when Keith Kuhn shows up with 17 just on his trailer, I mean, it's
sure.
I was pulling up that link you sent me from the if you guys do have Flow Racing, there's I think every year they do it on the Colfax Comet, and it's just so funny. Like I don't know if he built that car by hand, but it's definitely looks different to the eye. It is different, and he's a great driver. He's a big dude, but I think it's the same car he's been running for 10 years. So it's definitely outdated in the racing world. But if you get a chance, go to Flow and look up the
Colfax Comet.
Colfax Comet. Yeah.
He said he paid $100 for that motor. I don't know if that's true, if that was just an exaggeration, but I don't know if it's a Ford Ecotec motor, because I do see those for sale on Marketplace for $500, but he's on the bottom with 180 horsepower compared to 400 plus, just right. But and then I was looking
at the engine
that
coil
wires. Yeah, the coil wires are all rotted out, and I was like, how does that thing even keep the candles lit? But you see some. I was kind of like that Peasants Row part they did on that. I thought that was pretty cool. Some of the guys just want to have fun, want to be a part of it. So I mean, you can do it, but it'd be tough to go year after year and not even, get up past soup.
He did. I don't even know when this was. They had a really long special on him, almost an hour long, I think, a couple of years ago. And he did make, I think he made it up to I want to say D or C on Saturday one year. I
think you're right.
So, yeah. So, but it is pretty cool to see all the, obviously, like you just said, you got all the Keith Kuhns and all the,
Chad Boat,
CB Industries, and all those guys that bring 15. I mean, there's videos of these guys leaving the shop and their trailers are just stacked full of these things. I'm like, the amount of money, and sometimes they just show up to the track like last year when Larson and Bell and I think Stenhouse, they weren't planning on coming, and then midweek they got the itch and they called Keith and said, hey, you got a ride? And they're like, yeah, come on. So it's funny how that works, but that's kind of the tech aspect that we were wanting to point out this year. It's definitely more strict, so we'll see how much more they add to it. I know last year, adding on to that before we move on to the next point, was transponders were a huge thing there. I don't know if there were actual people getting lap times and basically spotting from people, which is obviously against the rules and any form of dirt racing. I know, only listening to track officials and stuff, but there were people doing that, or there was speculation. So they basically would get them all on the track. And for those who don't know, midgets have to be push started before they would roll them, down the ramp, and they would sit there, and then they would randomly get a different transponder. So they would give them theirs, ride on it with a baggie, put it in the infield, and they would give you their own from the track. So just to eliminate that aspect. And then what were you saying about Apple Watches? I wanted you to share that on the live show.
So I know that the big concern is, traction control now too. That's running through the sprint car world. So I know in tech, they were finding ways, or they were really teaching guys, or, I'm sure they have some experts there that are going from the boxes and tracing wires and where they could be hidden. So as guys get better at cheating these cars up and finding ways, then the tech is also improving. So, any smart device that could control something, turn on and off, wireless traction control system. I really haven't looked into it. It's just not something I ever care to do. I've never had a car fail tech yet, knock on wood.
I don't
like that stuff. Oh, ouch. Ouchie. My feelings. No, but
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's not been that long.
No, since we did was for me to give you shit, not for you to make tech. Come on. If you wouldn't have hit everything but the pace truck last time we were in Calhan, you would.
Well, that's like I told you. If I ever do decide that it's going bad enough that I'm going to run traction control, then they've got the wand scanning the car in the driver's seat. I'm like, I'll swallow that sumbitch and see.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah. So good luck finding it on me.
Blair's new perception of a butt plug is totally different. You're going straight up the caboose.
Been keistering the
right.
traction control device.
The next poop he takes, he has to take a sample to get his device. Anyways, going down a rabbit hole. So the racing itself this week, I unfortunately was on a work trip in lovely Virginia all week, so I didn't get to watch as much. So I was kind of with Blair, just kind of watching highlights. I did get on yesterday and a little bit tonight to watch, and but I think just general observations, the track, and Blair and I were kind of talking about this in the pre-show. The track prep, I don't know if they changed something there, but the track prep seems to be a lot better since the couple of years. I would say not as big of a lip and a berm. I know for the Tulsa Shootout, that was kind of how Kyle Larson almost caught Bell and passed him on the last lap. But seems like a 2-groove racetrack, like throughout the night. You can run high, low, bottom. Slide jobs, obviously bombing people, but I think that's a general observation that I've made. And to Blair's point, and he can talk about it, but maybe that switching to that tire for the second year in a row, maybe, I don't know, do you think that has a lot of?
I think definitely. I've heard a lot of guys say too that we saw that in the Tulsa Shootout. That was another complaint about tire doping still is, your winged outlaw cars are obviously with wingless stuff is better on the surface. It's just you're not driving tires into the ground. But with this SP3 and them keeping the track in pretty good condition, I haven't really seen it rubber up yet. I mean, it's pretty like we just watched that heat race before we jumped on, and it was pretty much hammered down. Those guys were flying. So you're not going to see that when the track's got some moisture in it still anyway. But we'll see when they start running the long main, how that thing. But, even if it blows off, that's like that last race we talked about with Larson and the wingless outlaw. He was able to start on the bottom, and then he was blowing the center and backing up to the cushion, and then honestly all the way to the wall. So he was one guy that used the entire
I think he was on the wall a couple times.
Yeah. So the surfboard, and it worked out wherever you can find grip. But guys can take chances at something like that, and it can benefit you or it can bite you. But it seems like, I mean, for as many cars and stuff that race on that all week long and everything, I mean, hats off to those guys. I bet they are absolutely exhausted.
No doubt. I think can't remember the guy's name that does the track prep for Emmett Hahn there. But I think a typical night, he doesn't leave that joint till like 3 or 4 in the morning, getting it ready for the next day. I'm like, it'd be a great job. Like if you had the week off for work or your daytime job and you just get in a tractor and do that, I'm sure he takes pride in that too. So, but going back to the other racing, obviously you've had your kind of big names who you thought, on their qualifying night would do well, and they have some surprises. Like I was telling Blair last night, epic battle. I went to bed, but watched the results. But Thorson and Bell battling there with Bradley Cox, and we'll kind of dive into the local regional drivers, kind of how they've done this week. But C. Bell missing the top 2 in his qualifiers, so he's going to he'll probably be CB main tomorrow. But that was a shocker. He won the Tulsa Shootout. Then he comes in and wins the Race of Champions on Monday, and it's just like he's lights out. And then all of a sudden in his qualifier, he just, I don't know, finished 3rd. He was 1 spot to the bad, but kind of shocking there. But going back to the regional stuff, I know you were kind of talking about it, Blair, with Bradley Cox, but hell of a run he put on last night. I banging bars with like Tanner Thorson and stuff like that. So I don't know if you want to talk about Bradley, but
and I got a phone call. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I wondered what happened because we were watching, and it sounded to me somebody I think said a plug wire or something didn't get reconnected when he went to push off. So
this was it must have been his qualifier when I went to bed then, because he was
supposed to start pull hole. So pulled a good pill for that. There was a feature for that night.
Yeah, the qualifier. So he in his heat race, I want to say started 3rd. He was on the bottom, and he was battling I can't remember who it was, and that guy ended up getting into the leader, going to the corner, spun out, and then Bradley kind of restarted, didn't have a great restart, shuffled back maybe fifth, and I think he finished third or fourth in his heat. So he was, he was hanging, with Thorson
Right.
for a little bit, but that's unfortunate. Something,
yeah, I mean,
that.
something like that, I mean, you hate to see that for anybody. It's like you draw a good pill, and they had pretty good coverage on him yesterday too. So
Yeah,
so to go from that and then be supposed to start the pull hole and maybe have really fight those guys off, especially obviously if the car was fast, and then an ignition, one plug, I'm sure if it came right off the mag box, that sucks. So they got it connected, but then I think he ended up, kind of start and finish right where he was at. So in the back there, so they made him scratch.
Yeah. Well,
but
he didn't destroy it, and he'll be there going through the soup tomorrow.
For sure. I mean, and that's one thing about the Chili Bowl is you can, and there is two things. One, it seems like they're really good guys that are, either do it for a living or they find a way to make it into the show. But then there's also some of those guys where bad luck can just bite you. It's one of those races where everybody's going to go hard all week long. And, anything can happen at any time. So there's no guarantees you're going to the A main.
The last two nights that I've actually watched, a lot of blown motors. I've noticed. There was one before we jumped on at night. I think it was mainly water. Chisholm actually smoked the wall head on. That was scary. But there was another one last night, and it's like, but to your point, these guys there's nothing to be spare. Like, you have to go all out every single, and they're racing a lot of laps. I mean, it's a short track. It's hard.
Sure. Well, that up and down is hard on a motor too. So, I mean, it's aggressive as hard as they spin those motors, you're in the corner off for just, probably a blip, let the car roll set, and then you're hard on the gas. And then that decompression is what's really hard on them. Getting back. Yeah.
What do you think they're running? 12, 15,000 RPM?
No, they probably turn about 10.
Lower?
I mean, 10. But you're still, they probably, I mean, and for a race like that, I imagine a lot of these engine packages they're putting together probably ramped up on compression. So, I don't know if they change the stroke and everything on those for a race like that. I think the rule now has kind of changed to where they have a maximum liter or cubic inch that they can run, to where that used to be a little bit more open. You even saw from down under, he had the V8 in his midget a couple years, probably 7 years ago. Michael Pickens, he races midgets out of not Australia, but down below New Zealand. He races a lot in Australia and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it was Pickens that came with a V8, little short, super short stroke, tiny cylinder, high RPM deal, and was pretty competitive. But
I know 2 or 3 years ago, T-Mez showed up with a Ford that I don't know who built it, some guy in his camp, but it was like weird to not see a TRD or something like that. And that was the year that he really stood out, and I think that's the year that he got asked to leave because of his comments.
They let him back in after or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was that year, but yeah. As far as your other Colorado specific or regional guys or past Scrub and Tires alumni, obviously we shared the unfortunate stuff that happened to Trimble. I don't know if you want to talk through those highlights, Blair, before we.
Well, we had talked earlier, he went from like 14th to 5th in his first showing out there. So, I mean, he's never, I don't think he'd ever been there before, right? That was kind of the whole premise of we wanted to get him to the Chili Bowl. So you're welcome, Adam. But just kidding. But I'm glad to see he got to go. I mean, what a dream come true. He had a hell of a season, so he deserved to go. He was fast in both sprint car and midget. That team seems to be firing on all cylinders. And obviously they are able to run with those guys as well. And it looked like he just got a little tight up on the fluff and jumped the cushion a little bit and then tried to get the car square. And obviously, like I said, you're going to go as hard as you can go. Well, looked like it sucked him in a little bit down the front stretch, grabbed the wall with the right rear, and he climbed it. And luckily he didn't toss it, or it didn't look like, even from what I saw or anything, I didn't get to talk to him and I didn't want to bother him. But he, it didn't look like they destroyed the rear end or anything really bad. Maybe broke the front, maybe a front spindle or something. The wheels looked like they were sitting kind of cockeyed.
Maybe 50-50 grind.
Broke a shock off or bent an axle or something like that. But
did they get it repaired, or are they staying for the suit tomorrow? Okay.
I'm sure, like I said, I think he's good to go again, and he'll have to race it out through the suit again. Just one error all weekend, and look what happened. So, but I mean, he had a good showing so far, and I mean, your first time there, that's shit happens. So
yeah. Another scrubbing, or I guess throwing sliders alumni, Tanner Holmes, obviously, I don't know whose car he was in throughout the week, but just kind of just blah. Which last year, I thought he was going to make the big show. Almost did. I think he stopped at the B main, but just kind of I don't know if it was a car or what, but he'll. I don't think he wrecked or anything. I just saw that. Actually, he might have. But anyway, maybe someone in the comments can prove me wrong there. But yeah, he'll be going through the soup tomorrow. But that was kind of shocking. And then we're kind of looking, Blair. I don't know if you had all the local drivers' results pulled up. We can kind of go through them.
Yeah, I know Bubak won his first, right?
Yeah, Bubak. Yeah. I don't know if did he win. I thought he finished.
I thought his first heat, maybe not, maybe I don't know. Like I said, and you know what? Everybody gives me shit, and this is really terrible. This might have to be a business expense, Brandon, of me getting Flow Racing. So
it should, yeah, deduct it from the account. Dude, if they, and I understand why they don't, but if they gave you 2 logins per account, it'd be no problem.
Sure.
Because like I said, I've
given you.
Yeah, I think they just charged me 183 for the year or something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, I told myself, I'm going to watch more on Flow and Dirt Vision. Dirt Vision I got late in the year, kind of around the Knoxville Nationals time. But I did watch probably say $183 worth of racing on Flow this year or last year. So I did get my money's worth. But it's just hard, man. And there's racing every single night, from freaking BMX bikes to you name it. They're racing something. But
well, my wife hears that shit in her sleep, because I always catch I get home usually pretty late, and then we'll eat or whatever, if we even eat. And so she goes to bed about an hour before me, and so she gets to just fall asleep to just so
that like, would not be happening in my life, in my room. No.
So she's finally got
her iPad would be thrown out the window. Nope, ain't doing that. Yeah, I was looking for can't remember which day Bubak was up. Let me see. It was not Monday. And another one, Brad Sweet. He finished 8th in his qualifier, which was shocking. But
well, that tells you how dialed in everybody is too. I mean, like he said, they came back from Australia, so those guys.
Or no, I'm sorry, he did not finish his qualifier. He qualified 3rd, but DNF, Mr. Brad Sweet. Sammy Swindell. Oh, there you go. Your wife. Oop, if I could click on the Bubak finished 9th in his prelim. All right. Yeah, I just pulled up on the screen.
Oh, they're working. Okay, sorry, I wasn't on them.
No, you're good.
Kenny's in here too, and TJ, so he knows. But
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, not unfortunately a lot to talk about. Regional and Colorado drivers. Obviously, I would say Tribble had a good run until he didn't. Bubak's still in the mix, and then obviously Bradley Cox did. I would say probably had the best run of all the local and regional guys.
I think Keith is there. There's a few other guys. We'll have to do some. Well, it'll be in the on our post and stuff. We'll try to keep up with them a little better. We've still been working, and I've been pouting
because you're not there.
Yeah. So when I get invited every year, I have like my rap guy, that RS. We talk. I didn't talk to him this year, but he goes pretty much every year, and he's always like, you got to come. But I've told you, it just bums me out to sit and watch on something that I'm like, well, I could even put a car, or find a ride and probably make it swing it. But I'm like, I don't have any.
Do it.
I mean, I'm dirty, not fresh, so. And then
what's worse that can happen? You make the flip count? I mean, come on.
Oh, I'd be fine with that, honestly. It's just like my bill for the Chili Bowl is probably your tire budget for half the season, so if you could go out there and spend $15,000, tearing something up, and it's like, I'm not super invested in it. To be honest, I have talked so much shit about that event before we started doing this for so long, because I'm like, it's a 5-mile track indoors. They're probably doing 45 miles an hour. And then everybody I talk to is like, dude, it's the sickest event to go to and watch and participate in.
I would love to.
It's a dream come true. And I mean, it's grown on me over the years, probably.
I think that saying that I always say, went to a party and a race broke out, I think that stemmed from the Chili Bowl, because it's not just what's going on the track. The nightlife is where it's at.
But I'm married. Dude, I'll go. Like I said, I'm allergic to alcohol and shit. I break out in handcuffs, divorce papers.
Well, I'll drink it for you, and you can be the buffoon for me.
So, I've gotten pretty boring. I just want to go fast. Besides that, I've done enough of that shit. So that's the thing. And then everybody's sick. And I even had my roommate in college. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to this Chili Bowl." I didn't even know what it was. I was like, "Hey, that sounds See you later.
Right. Yeah.
I could have went with
What do you
him
do?
and
Eat
just
chili? Oh, shit.
yeah, I was like, what is that bullshit? It's indoor racing. Great. Go watch quarter midgets.
Yeah.
And then turns out I
No,
really wish I would have went back then.
No, I think we should. We should just lock it in right now. We're going. Just go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come home.
You know what's
I don't
bad
what?
though is like
Oh.
you know how much I have to work even do what we're doing in the summer. So it's like if I'm not racing, it's like it's hard for me to justify. But maybe one of these years we'll go. But probably not. Unless I'm racing, we're not going. So you can send me video.
Let me talk to Trimble and see if he's got a old junker we can put together, and so you can go. And
yeah, his aunt, they have a car still, a nice one actually for sale. So
I just rent it. We don't need to buy any midgets unless you plan on.
Well, shit, you could probably buy it for what you could rent one for.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe we'll get you in the
15 to 18,000.
God Almighty.
For a good ride, and then you have if you crash it. So I'm pretty sure the only thing that's probably not in that is if you pop the motor, that's on them for their maintenance.
Let me talk to the Colfax comment and see if he's got a spare.
I'll be driving that. I'd be driving his fucking scooter around there.
Right, yeah. We'll pay him $1,000. Just whatever you can put together. If it starts, we'll take it. Try to find the right seat for you and give her.
It is crazy. I mean, that's super expensive for a weekend or a week. You know?
If I can get you in the 2-seater that they do, will you go? So you can.
If I'm driving it,
well,
I'll take it around and flip us out of there with you in it.
Great.
Trash.
You kick that out Oklahoma as a whole.
Yeah, that's no big loss to me except for the shootout. So,
I mean, yeah, fair. All right, well, let's I guess get into our picks. So Blair and we didn't come up with any betting things like we did for Knoxville, and Blair looked like an idiot because he doesn't know how to pick correctly. But
quick question. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Can you bet on this? I know they've got a line. We're gonna have to get involved in this. I know sprint cars you can bet money on.
What's the app that they use on Flow? It's a green and black logo with a driver helmet. That's
I don't have any of them. I don't gamble online, but
I do. I fucking lose my ass all the time. Fucking football, man. Let me derail for a second. My favorite college team, Oregon Ducks, number one in the freaking nation. We have the bye week, and we just get embarrassed by Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. And then fast forward to Monday night, my favorite pro team is the Vikings. What in the hell? Like everything was looking up for me, and all in 2 weeks, just fucking fuck you, Brandon. Okay, and that's when I flipped back to racing. Like, okay, apparently I like the wrong team. Anyway,
that was your problem. It's football. I didn't finish second in fantasy, and I didn't watch one game until this last weekend.
That's how it works.
I won it the year before.
I'm gonna start betting on the other team, so my team will win in real life, but I'll lose my ass in my financial backing. What is it called? Dirt racing betting app. I know it's called.
If anybody knows.
Dirt Tracker. Is it Dirt Tracker?
I don't know. That's a podcast.
That is the podcast. There's an app, and they show it on. God, it's gonna bug the hell out of me. It's a green and black logo. Anyway, I would probably do that. Like I've bet on NASCAR races before, and won actually a little bit because it's not like football where you got a team that's favored to win by 3. Here's the money line, whatever. Like realistically, in a 24 car field, like the odds are really good. Like obviously better for some drivers because they're lower, I should say, because they're going to win or have a better chance to win. But you can win some money, and like some of the parlays that they have, like this driver will finish ahead of this driver, this manufacturer will. It's kind of cool, but I can't think of the life of me. Dirt Draft. Thank you, Chris Finney. Dirt Draft. Nice. That's what it's called. Let's pull it up. Let's see what the odds are if they have a chili bowl here, since we're talking about.
If they got a line on it, which is just funny to me, but I mean, I guess you can gamble on anything anymore. It's crazy. That's why I just don't do it because I'm like, shit.
We can play fantasy racing for $5.99 a month.
Oh shit!
There you go.
I got too much to do.
I don't think it's going to let me look at the odds
unless Dirt Draft wants to sponsor the podcast. Then we'll get involved. So
I'll reach out after the podcast.
Somebody out there listening knows too. I tell them get in.
Yeah, so
we'll run
you got to buy the subscription to bet, so they're getting you on the front end and the back end.
Jesus, come with Vaseline.
Yeah, I know. It looks like Yeah, it's not showing me any.
No Chili Bowl.
No chili. Well, you got to sign up.
Oh,
Let's see.
shit.
Let's see. Chili Bowl odds. Let's see what pops up.
Some degenerate's got a line on it for the Colfax Comet.
He's gonna win
He's
it.
got
Yeah.
the mortgage on. He's got the
Right.
mortgage on the $100 motor to make the B main.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe if someone in the comments has a account for Dirt Draft, we can pull up the live odds. So, if you followed along for the Knoxville Nationals back in whatever month that was it like September, August, sometime of 2024? Blair and I did a kind of a pick 'em, taking any of the drivers, but not just the winner, but you got to pick a team of 3 with a provisional. Obviously, this one's a big provisional because we still have, as we speak, I don't think they're done with the second qualifier tonight. And obviously the big alphabet soup for tomorrow. So that's kind of where we'll draw the line there, because that's a big if, because some of the guys that we may pick are already locked in for the A main, so they don't got to do nothing except for sleep in tomorrow and wake up and go race. But some of the other guys that we may or may not pick have to wake up pretty early and go through the alphabet soup. So I'll be a gentleman again. I think I let Blair pick last time, or I'll preface this. It's not just the winner, but our team has to finish collectively better than the opposing team. So picking 3 drivers collectively, they have to finish ahead of the other drivers that the Blair I pick. So I'll let you go first, buddy. Don't fuck it up this time.
Well, you know what? I wanted to be cool and pick underdogs. And
Colfax Comet's up for grabs, buddy.
Gotten me nowhere. So he might be my wild card. But I'm just gonna go right for it, and I'm gonna say that Kyle Larson gets it done. Okay,
so that's your 1 of 3. You pick Larson. I knew you were going to do that, so I can't pick him.
You didn't know. I've never done that. I've never picked him.
You did not.
Finishes in the top 20.
You did not pick him for the Knoxville Nationals, and after you said that, I was like, well, that's fucking low hanging fruit. And he led lap for lap. You're gonna go there. So my number 1. Gotta go with the.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to pick him. He always proves me wrong. It pisses me off. It's like, that's the David and Goliath story. It's not that I have a problem with Larson or that I don't even like him. It's just he fucking wins so much that I want to see somebody else do it.
If he gets in bad spots during the race, like if he makes 2-3 mistakes early, 9 times out of 10, he's going to end up on his roof because he's trying so damn hard. So like Larson's MO in like those big races is that he has to have a good starting position, which they're going to invert and all that bullshit tomorrow. But he has to start well, and he cannot make a mistake early on, because if he does, he gets himself in more trouble because he's freaking on top of the wall trying to get up to first. So we'll see, but I mean, still a hell of a pick. I'll caveat that or counter that with shit. I know who you're going to pick next too. Let's just go. Fuck me. No, screw it. I'm going to reverse order. I'm going Tanner Thorson as my first pick.
Thorson.
I'm leaving the door wide open for you for your second one.
You know, I was going to say Christopher Bell.
Yep.
Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe Logan Seavey.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to go with Bell.
Okay.
Just pick the 2. And you know what? I don't think they like each other. Let's put it this way. I don't think Bell likes Larson. After that one Chili Bowl when Larson snuck away from him, I think that really put a chip on his shoulder.
In the iRacing car, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so you're going Bell.
But
no, the rivalry is there. It's especially after the like shootout and
quiet rivalry.
Yeah, I like it. All right. So that's your second. My second's gonna be. Let me pull up our list. Low hanging fruit there obviously is CV. Trying to go for 3 in a row, which I don't think has ever been done before, and not in a row anyway.
I don't know.
Let me see. Locked in drivers. There's another one. Shit, you're going for the jugular this time, so I can't screw it. I got to go CV. So I got Thorson and CV.
Okay.
Who's your? So do we want to do 3 and then a provisional, or do you want to do 2 and a provisional?
3 and a provisional. So
all right, who you got?
Did Kofoid lock in? Because he wrecked early. He's always fast, but I know he wrecked. I think day 1 or something. And they put the car back together.
Did he wreck?
I'm pretty sure he trashed it. Yeah. I don't know how bad. I don't think it was bad, but I'm pretty sure he did. But
He's not locked in, so yeah, he'll be running the.
who's locked in that I would pick?
I ain't giving you that. No inside info. I'll tell you who's locked in: Kyle Larson, Shane Gobelick, Landon Brooks, Brendan Crouch, Emerson Axum, Dason Pursley, Tanner Thorson, Ryan Bernal, and I don't know who's.
Kim's isn't locked in.
Well, let's look at the results from.
See, that's the only problem once we get out of these first 2 picks is guys are still going to have to run their way in.
Yeah, I don't know who won that first one.
You know what? If I would like to see, and I don't know where he's at, but I've got my provisional locked up. So let's just go with Kofoid for my.
You're gonna go Buddy Kofoid? Okay.
I think he's gonna make it.
Okay. It's a fair assumption. All right, my third
I wanted
is
him to win last year.
all right. So you got Larson, you got Bell, and damn, you're really stacking the deck here. And then you got Buddy Kofoid, and I got Thorson. Who's my second? Logan CV.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go.
Go with Taylor Reimer.
Yeah.
You love blonde racers. You love the girls. They're gonna win it all.
Okay, here you go. Yeah.
Kaylee Bryson.
Yeah.
Go with the girl.
I don't think
sexist.
No, I mean, it had nothing to do with that.
Sexist pig. You won't pick a chick.
I really wish I could know who's. All right, we got to go back to. I want to know who won the first. No, I want to know who won the. Hey, this is live picking. There are no fucking rules.
Jade Avedizian. She'll win it from wherever she's at right now. She's not there.
She is good. No, she's not there.
She is.
She is? No, she's not there.
No. I mean, she's good though. Her and Kaylee Bryson are probably the top 2 chicks in.
It doesn't show who won the first qualifier tonight, so we're flying blind here. I'm going to pick someone that was in the 2 or the heat races and qualifiers tonight, and that's going to be Mr. Sunshine, Tyler Courtney.
Ooh, that's a good one.
All right, provisional, who you got?
Now we're on to our alternates. Let's go underdog alternates.
All right.
I'm going Brent Cruz missile. Fast at the shootout.
Okay.
Wheelman.
Let me look at the lineup. Brent, you threw me off with having to do underdogs.
I mean, it's not like he's not fast. I mean, it could be somebody fast.
No,
but...
yeah. I don't know if it's really like how much of an underdog. Because I mean, you picked Brent Cruz.
Did you know who Brent Cruz was?
Yes.
Okay, well then somebody of that, because I wouldn't say he's in your top tier known, but he's an up and comer.
Well, I have one in mind, but I think you're gonna say he's above Cruz a little bit. Okay. I like the kid, Dason Pursley.
That's cool.
I mean, he's locked in. He doesn't have to go through. I think he finished second on his prelim night, but I like Dason Pursley.
Okay, so say Cruz doesn't lock in since that was kind of a wild card.
Well, I can pick a wild card. Just let me give me because I got a list of guys that I had, but an underdog. I'm going.
You were going to go like Parker Price Miller or Cannon McIntosh.
I hate him. Absolutely not. I will never pick him. Let's see.
Bernal was running well.
Yeah, he won or took second.
Yeah.
Let's see. Entries. Here we go. Give me. Going through the list, underdog on the same level as Brent Cruz. I can't pick. What's his name? Dason Pursley. Let's
Kyle
go.
Busch, that's your underdog right there.
No. Fudge. Ooh, that would be a good one, but I don't know where he finished in his project. Yanis, did you see him in the Tulsa shootout? Crazy hair dude.
Yeah.
Hell with it. Let's go. Let's keep it local. Mr. Booback. Make me proud.
Right on. That'd be cool. That's a good one.
Do it.
So he's probably at a higher level than Cruz too, but that's a good pick. So
yeah. All right.
You got the up and comer versus the veteran there.
Yeah. Let's write these down so we don't. Thorson. CV.
Oh, Tara said Kyle Busch missed the main tonight, so
Ooh, got him.
You missed out. He's going to go all the way through the soup and surprise you.
Right. I forgot my picks. Who did I say? Thorson, CV, and who?
Jet. Oh, for your third?
No. Courtney, Sunshine.
Shit. Yeah, okay. That's a good pick.
Sunshine, and then I got Boo back as my alternate. And you had Larson Bell. Fucking picking them all. Fucking.
I mean, those are just the most popular names. That's still a crapshoot.
Who's your third?
I have no idea. I'll probably have to rewatch the tape.
Larson Bell,
Kofoid.
Buddy Kofoid. Okay.
Yeah. Buddy's a real man in the midget. That's my favorite looking car too. That silver Mobile 1 car. God damn, I'm jealous of that thing.
Yeah, he does have good paint schemes. All right. Well, we're locked in there, so we'll see who finishes collectively better than the other team. And I guess if it gets close, because we didn't even have to worry about it, because your picks in the Knoxville Nationals were junk, and I don't even think they cracked the top 10. But
well, I mean, it's not like I picked a nobody. It was Logan Schuchart, Donnie Schatz were two of the three.
Yeah.
So
fair.
I mean,
I guess if they
$1 million race.
Yeah,
it's
if
not
they
like
get
he's a nobody. I mean, shit.
One of our drivers wins, but the other takes second, and the other's fourth and fifth. We might have to obviously if you
just
win.
Do average points.
Yeah.
That's easier.
How are we going to do? Like, what are we putting
average
for?
Finish if they all make the A main?
So just taking up all three, see where they finish, and then dividing by 3.
Yeah, we'll give it an average.
Fair enough. Well, good luck, jackass, picking all the fucking top tier guys.
Well, that's what you always fucking do. So
I did not. You left them open. Like you had pick number 1, and you didn't pick Larson, who's dominant at Knoxville.
Well, I didn't want to be that guy, but now I'm like, I don't want to.
You are that guy, Larson Bell and Buddy Kofoid. Like what?
I am now.
I hope Thorson wrecks them both. Okay, I'm on the message.
Hey, just speaking of, I don't know if you saw those pictures of Thorson's car too. Speaking of nice ass cars, they even anodized all the radius rods red.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, you have to look. They got a close-up picture of like before they went to the show. Every radius rod on there is done in like this really nice red, and then they start anodizing the dry sump tanks, and that's the only car I miss. I don't see is that oil fire car that had the golden dry sump tank a couple years ago. That was around for quite a while. That was an awesome looking car.
Yeah, it's all that factory cane money that Thorson's got can afford that shit.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he's probably putting the car together. I know it was
he likes to be involved in that, I think, but I don't know. Maybe not. Do you want to do any money on it? Speaking of betting, I'm not opposed.
I don't care. What do you want to do? $10?
Sure, $10. Right. It's official. $10. No shaving cream on your face. We'll just keep it to money.
Yeah, just bet money. All right. Well, we can do whatever if you're good with 10, or we can do more.
10? No, 10's good.
Now that I picked Larson Bell and Kofoid.
I've lost more on worse bets, so do that. All right. Well, there's our picks. I don't know. Did you want to run through the, special announcement we had tonight?
Oh, yeah.
If the viewers want to get involved. Maybe we do it. Because we'll just have the viewers pick the actual winner, and if you are correct, then you'll be put into a drawing. I was going to say maybe collectively make a team like we just did, and if you beat us, but that's too much shit going on.
It's pretty complicated for us to do math. We don't math with us, so we're borderline retarded.
Funny story. I sent an email with a bunch of numbers figuratives on it today to my director, my boss, and so forth. And I realized immediately, like 5 minutes after I sent the email, I was like, I did the math again. I was like, well, that was not right. So I emailed him back and I said, math is not my strong suit, and told him the real numbers. And my director just replied to me and he's like, don't admit to that. I'm like, I'm honest. I'm not trying to anyway. So yeah,
Blair, but I'm honest.
Right. Yeah.
It's usually what I have to warn people.
Yeah. So we have some special announcement, I guess, if Blair, if you want to.
Yeah, we got a couple things going on. I know if you've seen us posting, I know probably most people are actually watching the Chili Bowl stuff right now, but tomorrow when you catch us, a couple things to put on the calendar. February 1st, BST Promotions up there in Calhan. Joe, they're putting on the swap meet. It's dirt and asphalt, so a lot of cars, a lot of stuff. We're going to be live and on location We're going to have some interviews with drivers. We're going to talk to probably the IMCA president. So any of that stuff, and who knows who will be on, but we'll get some of the champions from this season in the region, from either late model series, sprint cars. Maybe we'll get Trimble, Laney again. We'll talk to her. So some of the past guests, along with some new guys you haven't seen. So looking forward to doing that. That's going to be something new. So you have to stop by. We'll have a booth there. We'll talk to Belm about what's coming up this next season. I know they're starting to come out with schedules and a lot of cool stuff. So should be fun. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be something different for us.
And it's Saturday, February 1st at 2 it starts. I know we got to be there pretty early.
I think it's actually starts at like 9 a.m., but we're going to be on about 2 o'clock. So, because then I think it wraps up around 4. So yeah, I think it's like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Awesome. But if you are looking for a booth too, I think he's still got a few available, and it's like $25 for a pretty good sized booth in the building there. So it's indoors, right next to the racetrack there at El Paso County Speedway. So if you guys need any information or anything on it, hit us up or get a hold of the BST page, and either Joe or somebody there can help you out. So
yeah, definitely. And looking forward to it to be our first not at someone's house kind of podcast. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully that kind of just exploring that avenue to do that kind of stuff more. We talked about doing it at events like that, and maybe even at a race, a live race where Blair and I are not competing in, but the logistics are there kind of, and obviously be loud as shit. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, if you want to stop by, obviously come say hi to us. We'll shoot the breeze, and definitely join on the Facebook and YouTube pages. It'll be fun. Hopefully get a large crowd on there, and we can shoot the breeze. And yeah, it'll just be kind of Blair and I in a booth, and taking guests in as they come in and see people walking by. Maybe we interview random people and make them Throwin Sliders fans that day. So get them on air live. Maybe they've never done that before. So yeah, that's one of two special announcements we have. So Blair, if you want to, the other one,
I'll let you take over that one.
All right. So we wanted to kind of get some engagement with the Chili Bowl this year. So if you've been following along, or if you haven't, drop your who you think is going to win the Golden Driller tomorrow. Not any of the alphabets. So you have the A main. By the time it starts, probably 9 o'clock p.m. tomorrow with all the shenanigans they have going on. But the A main tomorrow night. If you think you know who is going to win that one, we'll drop a post after the show tonight. Drop your comment. Obviously, 1 vote per person. Just one name, whoever you think it's going to be. Colfax comment if you think he's got a chance. Put it in there, and then every correct answer, whoever wins tomorrow, your name will be entered into a random wheel generator like we've done in the past. And the winner will get a free, I believe it'd be pit pass to, I don't know if did he select a race, or is it any, or do you know?
I don't know exactly. He said we're going to try to just put something together. So there'll be some merch and swag. We haven't really worked out the details, but it's something, that he's throwing together. So I didn't follow up with the details, got busy, but he said, yeah, we can do something cool for the fans. And we're really going to try to work in conjunction with a lot of these series this year. And, being Colorado based, we figured we'd start here. And so we're going to be working with, promoters and stuff locally, even here in town and around the state and in the region. So, even I saw the Northern Plains division that I run with sometimes. They got Rock Springs, Wyoming back on the schedule, and they moved some dates around so it works with all our dates, in the Western Plains region. So I'm pretty excited. I think sprint car racing is just, on my end of that, and dirt in general. So we're going to try to cover some more even of the, I think we've decided, unless we get some viewership from stock car guys and stuff like that, we're going to focus on the stuff that everybody wants to talk about. So it seems like late model, sprint cars, midgets, micros, so I talked to Belm, and I've talked to a couple of promoters, and they said, hey, that's what we need. And that's what puts asses in seats. So, but we don't want to leave anybody out. So if you guys can share it with people in different classes and stuff like that, we still want to get a pretty broad perspective from basically the top of the United States, up near Canada, where we see a lot of guys that I race with, all the way down to basically the border of Mexico. So that's kind of the region we're covering. So send them our way, and we'll try to give them some love. And I think we're setting up some interviews to talk to some really good drivers this next season too. I'm kind of getting on the ball with that. And I know, Brandon, you've made it happen before with Tanner, and, we've had Sammy on the show and everything. So it's only going to grow from here, but we do need everybody's help. So share the episodes, the ones you like. If you think it's shit, don't share that one. We're still hit or miss sometimes.
There's no episode that's shit. There's something in that episode that was funny. I promise you that. Something.
But, Yeah. So
Yeah, we'll drop a post after this one. Obviously, the episode will drop on Facebook, and then we'll create a separate post if you think you know who's going to win. No money involved. Just drop who you think's going to win, and then as you said, we'll have a package for the winner that's entered into a random wheel generator. Unless there's only one person that, maybe it's an underdog that no one saw coming, and no random wheel generator needed, and you will be the winner. And we'll get the absolute details from Joe on the package that he's putting together, and you'll be the lucky winner of that. I suspect it'll probably be at least a pit pass to a race that you'll get into, go down to Calhan to watch a race, or
any of the
maybe
BST
Phillips
races.
County. Yeah. So we'll get the details there. But if you want to join, go ahead and shoot us a note in the comment section and of that post, and tell us who you think is going to win. So
maybe some swag. Maybe I'll put some nude Polaroids in there.
Oh yeah, well,
no,
I don't even know what to say to that. Sure.
Sick. Mean, who wouldn't want that package?
I mean, I don't, but I get it. It's because you did there. That package. Oh God, please don't. We need marketing, but not in that regard. God Almighty. I don't even. Is it big enough to hold a hat? Anyway.
Oh, I could hold it up.
We're getting off the rails here. All right. So last. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say the last kind of segment we had before we adjourn, which we probably should before we get kicked out of here. Tell us what you've been doing with these. I don't even know what they call buggies.
Cross carts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
So I think you know by now that after I pretty much can't say no to anything, but so I got a call from Mike.
You opened the door wide open. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, well, when you see me hanging that hat, you're going to regret that. But anyway, so I can't say no to anything. About anything race cars, I'm always trying to squeeze it in. And like I said, I'm really limited on time because if I'm not working, I'm at the racetrack. So, but anyway, Mike has called me to drive his cross cart before and do some testing. Well, this last time they called me, said they needed maybe a second driver. They were going to be doing some film for Film Hive. They're a group out of Denver. They're all directors of photography. Well, anyway, they wanted to do a shoot. And so you'll see in the video kind of the final product, but a bunch of good guys, they came out and all I really ended up doing was I kind of went down there to actually test the new cart for him. And it's at a racetrack in Ordway. It's a motocross track. So we went and cut it up down there, and none of my footage, or not very much of my footage, ended up getting used, but it really cool to hang out on a
Did you go too slow?
That's one thing I found out about driving for film is it's not what most people would think. Most of it is movie magic. I mean, those guys, it was, they rigged up a camera on my car that had its own motors and stabilizers and stuff and still pretty bouncy. But anyway, Andy Kingsley was the driver of the main car. He was able to be there for 2 days, and he does hill climbs and a lot of other stuff, a bunch of different disciplines. He's got a Porsche that he runs up Pikes Peak, and I believe he has a Subaru rally car. So he's driven a lot of stuff too, but he went and ripped the cross carts. I helped him do some of the filming in the chase car and everything like that. But they put it in for a film festival contest. These guys do a lot of high-end shit. I mean, from the NFL draft stuff I've seen, one of the DPs, Nicholas, and stuff. So go check out their page after. It's in my link on my Instagram or Facebook page, just under Blair Cooper 32. I've got it up there right now, but if you need anything done, check those guys out, or just even to watch. It's kind of cool to see, what they could do. So I got to drive a little bit, and it was cold, but pretty fun. So yeah, we'll show it if you want. And
yeah, absolutely.
Check it out. Kind of see the final product.
Absolutely. All right. Make sure I can still share my screen. I think we're good. And there's audio, right?
Yeah.
I imagine. Okay. All right. Here we go. Check it out.
Do you ever feel afraid? I do. Fear's always there. But there's no need to be afraid of it. Just embrace it. Feel it. Welcome it. Lean into it. Fear is your fuel. It whispers, stop. Slow down. Pull over. But you don't. You go faster.
Well, god dang.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, man.
It was fun to see those
What,
guys working.
How fast does that thing go?
They're the rips. It's got 1,000, so it's basically like a lightning sprint. It's just buggy,
Jeez.
so it's got more suspension travel and it's square. But 1,000 Kawasaki in it. That was one of them, and then the other one I drove, I think it has a Cowie in it too. So another couple thousands. They probably weigh about 1,200 pounds, so they run pretty good.
Damn, that looks fun.
Yeah,
So when are we doing the second run? I'm down.
We're going to have to get a hold of him. So I know they're going to be out testing a little bit more. In fact, I actually talked to Mike today about getting some shock packages set up for him, and because they've got Fox stuff on them right now, and carts work pretty good. So I kind of was feeling out what needed to be adjusted. That was really the reason I went down there, is they figured they'd make it a dual purpose day and give it all. I only spun her out once after going pretty hard on it. So they're fun to drive. I know they're going to be selling a bunch of them, and they're trying to get that dirt series going too. So something to look forward to if you're into the off-road kind of cross kart stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Blair kind of extended the invite nonchalantly, so I'm looking forward to that and get some footage for throwing sliders as well. Put that on our page and make a day out of it. So awesome. Well, yeah, that kind of brings us to the end of our scheduled show. So, excuse me. Looking forward to whooping Blair's ass tomorrow in our picks and making $10. So hopefully you guys have Flow Racing. If not, you'll definitely hear about who won on our page tomorrow. But yeah, looking forward to watching that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do some stuff around the house and try to tune in as much as I can. Watch the Alphabet Soup and make a day.
I went to Keaton's to watch the shootout, so maybe we'll go. I know Blaine was talking about watching it at his house and having a little get together, so maybe we'll go see it. But I got to get the car done because now I'm starting to squeeze. It's like, man, it'll be here before you know it now.
Yeah, I'm waiting on. Speaking of that, Dodge City, no more outlaw carts. So I was looking forward to their schedule, and it came out, and I was like, well, all right. So waiting on the Silver Dollar Speedway down in Amarillo to announce their schedule. They strictly run carts, all the classes of the carts. So looking to see there and see if it's, what their races look like for the outlaws, and see if it's worthwhile to spend the money this year to get everything redone and make the couple treks down there. But yeah, that's kind of what I have in the plan, and then helping you as much as I can. So
yeah, well, and you're one parlay away from a micro. So
one parlay
everybody
away.
I talk to tells me, tell Brian get a micro.
I know. If I had $1 for every time I've been told that, I'd probably have a micro by now. But yeah. I mean, having a kid changes things, financially,
I get it. It's tough.
Focus kind of and
just time too.
Yeah, time. Oh my goodness. And that's why I was telling you, like, to switch to a micro to learn that car and get familiarized with all that. Whereas like outlaw, I'm not saying I know everything about everything, but they're pretty damn simple. I think you make five adjustments on them. So, but yeah, just get the motor refresh, replace a couple parts and pieces that the rough ass Honor Speedway broke on that thing, and we'll be set. So shouldn't be that big of a lift, but yeah, I just want to see if it's worth the schedule to pack up and drive all the way to Amarillo for 5 or 6 times. So TBD, but if not, I'd be the world's best outlaw retired driver there ever was. Anyway, yeah, but like Blair mentioned, we'll be I don't think we have anything in the schedule until the 1st of February, so that's 2 weeks away from tomorrow. So you'll see our ugly mugs here again. If you're in or around the Calhan area, please do come stop by, say hi to Blair and I. We always like having the person-to-person interaction with you guys whenever we do see you. But if you can't make it there physically, certainly tell your friends, especially all the dirt drivers. We're calling you out. If you're not going to be there, watch us. Throw your name in the comments. We'll give you a shout out. And just like Blair said, let's just grow this thing on the dirt side. Obviously, the asphalt side, we combed and groomed that one, and Jake and Jordan are doing a great job keeping that one alive, and want to do the same thing over here. So, so
everything's going good. So happy to be here, man. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Get a sprint car, Brandon. Yeah, that's right, Danny. Tell him.
Yeah.
Don't be a puss.
Yeah. Well, you go talk to the woman sleeping upstairs.
Oh, I'll tell her. Hey, this is.
I'm sure you will.
You tell her you're getting a sprint car.
Right. Yeah. Well, we need a bigger garage. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with that. I need to learn how to drive. Probably like there's a lot that goes into that. But yeah, that would be fun. Maybe one of these days Blair will let me hot lap the thing.
Nope.
Anyway, nope. He said, okay, well, there goes my one opportunity.
That's it.
That's all right. I'll just
last thing
replace
before we
front
go,
axles.
I do a bad enough job. Corey Mala was in the chat. Who's on the flip counter this year? Who's winning the flip? Does he still have the record?
He was in. I didn't see him in the chat.
Yeah, he was here earlier. He was watching, but I mean, I don't know if he still is. But we'll have to find that out because wasn't he?
Oh, did he say something
there for a while? No. I was just thinking about it when we talked to him on the episode.
Yeah.
Before we go, because that's always interesting to me. And my favorite thing about the Chili Bowl is the pole shuffle.
Yeah,
that's fun to watch. I love that.
It is fun. It doesn't have it on there unless someone in the comments knows. I haven't seen the ticker up either on on Flow Racing.
Well, we'll have to look into that.
It doesn't have it on mine either. What the hell?
Okay.
Flip count began on Saturday, but it doesn't. That's right, because Flo put out the flip count started in the parking lot. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, with one. Yeah, that guy turned her over. A brand new car. Pretty sick.
That's what I would do if I had one. Like I'd make the flip count out there. Yeah, I don't know I haven't seen the ticker or what's his name on the broadcast talk anything about. Maybe they're going away from it. I don't know. But
well,
hey, yeah, appreciate you guys joining, and for those of you who are watching the Chili Bowl instead of us, I completely understand that, but definitely go give us a rewatch on Facebook or YouTube or Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Appreciate the time, and we'll be locked and loaded for our first, or Blair and I's first kind of live episode there in the swap meet on the 1st. So be there, be square, either remotely or in person. But appreciate you guys, all the love and support, and drop us a line if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggested guests. We're always, open to that. So we appreciate that. And that's all I got, Blair. Take us away.
I have a confession to make. When we get off of here, instead of watching the Chili Bowl stuff, since I don't have Flow, I'm going to go watch Gilmore Girls. If you haven't seen it, give it a check it out. If you watch it with your wife, it's a good show. So
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say.
Oh, it's good. Now I'm in Dune. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. Now I'm like, ooh, season 5. So Gilmore Girls, and what else? I think that's all I got.
I hope, because that was the dumbest outro I've ever heard.
It's not. It's a good show. I'm going to tell your wife to make you watch it, and then you'll be like,
she probably already watches it. I go upstairs, and it's either naked women all the time, having every show she watches is like softcore porn. And I go upstairs, I'm like, damn, just get on Pornhub. I mean, it's the same. Anyway.
Classy.
All right. Well, if you're bored and don't want to watch actual cars going around the track, go watch Gilmore Girls, whatever the hell that Netflix is. Yeah. There you go. All right. Till February 1st. I'm Blair. He's Brandon. Signing off. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you. This has been another episode under Scrubbin' Tires Media. Creator and producer of Scrubbin' Tires Media is Brandon Hall. The Hit and the Chip podcast is hosted by Jacob and Jordan Smith. The Throwin Sliders podcast is hosted by Blair Cooper and Brandon Hall. Video and audio creator is Bryce Holcomb. Intro and outro music is owned and produced by Young Troubadour on YouTube. All episodes were created using StreamYard. Thanks for watching, listening, and supporting Scrubbin' Tires Media. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep scrubbing those tires.